How's it going, guys? Mick Ambrose from All About Tech. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm just going to get straight into it. Today, we're going to talk about the Electroneum for the second quarter. As you know, the second quarter is just about to begin. Not only is the second quarter just about to begin on the 1st of April, but also the tax year is also coming to an end, which could prove to be quite beneficial. Everyone in the UK and a few other countries that share the same dates are settling up their taxes for the year, sorting out all their finances, taking out their investments, blah blah blah. And then once the new tax year begins, they then start funneling out their money back into their investments and stuff once everything's all sorted. So in terms of cryptocurrency, it could see some more money funnel back into the cryptocurrency market. We could see a small rise. I mean, obviously, just the UK, just investments from the UK isn't going to be like an exponential amount, but it's a little run nonetheless. So in terms of Electroneum, the first quarter has proved to be extremely successful for them, even through a lot of unnecessary FUD that's been going around with absolutely no meaning whatsoever. There's been bumps in the road, but what project doesn't have bumps in the road at the end of the day? Some top companies had issues when they first started out, and now look at them. I mean, Uber being one of them. They started out with lots of problems in terms of licensing and stuff like that, and now they're the world's leading blood taxi service now. They've just literally taken over the world. And what I want to go through is how the second quarter can be so it's crucial for Electroneum to get it right, to help keep that momentum going and get that growth to keep going. If I take you to the display, this is the channel. Subscribe. I always appreciate the support. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so yeah, help me get there, guys. If you like the content, please support the channel. It's hugely appreciated. I never thought I would have made 500 subs, but here I am, in just over 2 weeks, getting closer to the 1,000 mark, which is fantastic. So thank you for that. But anyway, let me go to Electroneum's website and look at this quarter 2 and beyond goals. So 2 million live users. Obviously, we've only just hit 1 million users. We hit 1 million users like last week, beginning of last week, and we've already added another 70,000 people on top of that. So in terms of getting 2 million users in the second quarter, I think that's going to be achieved extremely quickly. I think that is a very conservative number. So I'm predicting that we're going to get those 2 million users easy, without a doubt. Growing the team. So obviously the team has grown since it first launched, but as Richard Ells said in his videos, that they've got top developers that are starting in the second quarter, and that will really help with their development of say like their Lightning Pay system, which they're going to be integrating with Electroneum, like a centralized server to get instantaneous payments and then put into a queue-like system to then be put onto the blockchain. I talked about it a little bit in my last video, so just go to the last video and check that out. Because the concept of what they're trying to achieve there is really good, and getting these new developers on board, which Richard Ells even said that they're taking top developers that came from top companies, in terms of programming and developing software. So in terms of growing the team, they they are doing that. They've constantly been doing it since the start of the project. Increased global user reach. Well, that will come with partnerships. I mean, I think the current exposure rate is at like 130 million people, and if you think about marketing strategies, when you're marketing a product out to the masses, you usually get a small percentage of the exposed number of people get on board. Even if we take something like 10% of the exposure rate, which is 130 million, even at just 10%, you gain what, 13 million users? Is that right? 130 million users? 13? Yeah, I think so. My maths might come back and haunt me, but I think that's right. 13 million users would be absolutely fantastic. And if you think about the amount of money that will bring into the Electroneum market, you would probably see a nice growth in price in terms of the market. Now, the entire crypto market will probably go on a bull run at some point in the second quarter anyway. Largely down to possibly the regulation side of things being more robust and more put into effect, where actually it becomes more of a solidified market to be able to invest in, for institutions to start funneling their money into the market. I think that will happen later on, but it could happen sooner. I guess it all depends on what companies are coming forward supporting blockchain and what governments are saying about it at the time as well. I mean, only time will tell what the results of these potential regulations will be, but none of it will be to get rid of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, because they've recognized that blockchain technology is a really good way to use a transaction system. So in terms of that, we could see a huge rise in the total cryptocurrency market cap, which, with our user reach, if we do end up getting 10% of those 130 million users at 30 million, let's be conservative and say like only $50 to $100 per person is going into that market. You're still looking at the near dollar range for that market, which, when you put it into those terms, you think, oh, $1 is really possible for Electroneum to reach that. And of course it's possible. Anything's possible within the crypto market. It's so volatile, it's unreal. Obviously that's not what I would consider a price prediction or anything like that. I'm just saying that the price will potentially rise when these, well, if the 10%, if the marketing goes well and we get the users, then obviously we will see a growth in value. In terms of commercial relationships, obviously we know we've got these mobile operators getting on board, and we are getting on board the, say, Zaius with their huge 65 million users, exposure to them. Which it's a really good thing. Not only that, it's not just going to be the mobile operators as well. We're going to be looking at entrepreneurial businesses, all these small startup businesses that are going to be accepting Electroneum. I mean, when you think of it like that, oh, these small businesses, they're not going to do a dent. They're not even going to put a dent in the price of Electroneum. But if you think, if a large number of these entrepreneurial businesses get on board with Electroneum, then to see a huge list of places that accept Electroneum, that's only then going to support the reasons as to why a bigger company would then start to accept Electroneum. And then once you get that value, that it's being used as a store of value, then the demand comes, and then because the demand will outweigh the supply, the value will rise, and that's hopefully how it's going to go down. I mean, we can't predict these things, but obviously that's how we want it. The next one is enhance app capabilities. Well, they've already said that they want to integrate a sort of PayPal-like system, which is extremely easy to use. The whole point of this app is that it's meant to be easy to use for the mass market. I mean, this is what I love about this project, is that they are looking at everyone who isn't tech savvy, because buying into cryptocurrency isn't the simplest thing to do, and they're trying to make it as simple as possible with this app. And with, say for example, the next exchange, which is going to be doing fiat straight into Electroneum. So there's no middleman. You don't have to go buying one cryptocurrency to then buy another cryptocurrency to then buy another cryptocurrency and so forth. You can just do it straight from debit card straight into Electroneum. And that's ideally how you want it. You don't necessarily want Bitcoin and Ethereum to be the only ways you buy cryptocurrency. I mean, that's probably why they hold a store of value in the first place, because of having to use those currencies to buy the other currencies. And in a way it works well, but for new users you need to have an easier way of obtaining cryptocurrency. And the app enhancing the Electroneum app to have like a PayPal-like system, possibly with a direct partnership with Electroneum as an exchange, kind of how like blockchain.info directly link with Coinify when you buy Bitcoin. Because you don't actually buy Bitcoin on blockchain.info. They use a different exchange, Coinify, but because they integrate it into their app, it's very easy to buy. Same thing with Electroneum. Could possibly mean that Next could be an exclusive exchange for their app. Doesn't mean you can't buy it on other exchanges and stuff, but to be easily bought on their app. That makes things easy for the mass market. And then to kick off vendor integration. In terms of that, we already know that with these mobile operators, they're going to be sending texts out, they're going to be sending emails out to their customers to get them on board. And it's exactly the same with the marketing side of things. Exposure to 130 million, which they're going to be getting more partnerships and growing that number. But then, if you take a small percentage of it, will actually do it. And then, if they choose the wording correctly, they can gain the interest of the mass market with this mobile miner, which is a simulated miner. Everybody knows it. Some people are still giving Electroneum a bit of grief for it. Don't know why, because you'd rather have a working phone than a destroyed, melted phone that's melted your leg away from where it's melted in your pocket mining. But this vendor integration where you can actually use your Electroneum to buy your data, that is what is going to really give ETN some value, especially in developing countries. Even if it's just a few dollars a month, it means something to these to people. And even if it's just a few dollars, like, I mean, I know people that are earning like full-time salaries in say like in the UK and the States, and they're still happy with it. So why wouldn't people in developing countries be happy with it? So, and that just goes off the back of what that Crypto Ellis said, that it's not enough. So yeah, those are the goals. I think every single one of those goals can easily be smashed well within the second quarter. I'd probably even go as far to say halfway through the second quarter. That's all I really want to say on it. Apart from one other thing that's literally just popped into my head. This doesn't even mention the patented technology, which we will probably come to know more about in the second quarter. Even if it's not the full details of it, they will drop some small details about it. And then not only that, just expect more exchanges. Expect the next exchange to come out of beta as a full release to people. Expect some bigger exchanges like hit BTC. It is going to happen eventually. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you like and appreciate the information given, then leave a like, comment, have a discussion, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.